travel wasn't built around top 10 lists or rushing to check off every famous landmark in your destination, but instead it was built around the hyper-specific niche that you actually love. Hi, I'm Kathy. Now think about it. If you were deeply into ceramics, imagine on your next trip going beyond visiting the major museums and traveling instead to a tiny village where they're making that traditional pottery. You can meet with the local artisans, you can understand how they take raw clay and transform it into the very works of art that you enjoy. Now, if you knit or work with textiles, imagine following the story of that alpaca yarn, visiting the high altitude farms, understanding the dye process, and perhaps even settling into the very valley in which your yarn comes from and creating your own piece of art. And that is passion-led travel. It gives your trip a purpose. It turns your journey into something that is deeply connective to who you are. And for me, my obsession is stories, rare archives, historic buildings, and the place where literature resides. So today, I'm going to walk you through how I research and design my passion travel, and that is a literary field trip. So it all starts at my desk. When you design a passion trip, the first step is hunting down what I call your hero inclusions. Now, hero inclusions are those core, non-standard anchor moments on a trip that you just can't get on a standard tour experience. Now, when I'm planning a literary field trip, I'm doing more than just looking for another beautifully historic building. I'm emailing local curators, I'm talking to my supplier partners, I'm looking for private after-hours access, and maybe even identifying rare reading rooms where most visitors will walk right past without realizing what special magic is behind those doors. So whether your passion is yarn, pottery, or 18th century manuscripts, your hero inclusions are those high-value moments that build the spine of the entire itinerary. So I'll let you in on a little secret, because here is where passion-led trips can actually go wrong. People simply pack too much into it. When you fill every hour with workshops, tours, and lectures, you leave yourself completely exhausted. So the second step in my framework is designing independent breathing room. If you travel to where the alpaca yarn is made, you need to provide yourself at least 2 hours to sit, reflect, enjoy, and maybe even do a little crafting on your own while you're there. Now, on my literary field trips, after we visited a historic archive, we don't rush to the very next thing. I have intentionally built in wide open blocks of time. Time for each of us to explore the city on our own, perhaps take our notebook and settle into a local cafe, and just journal and write about the things that we have just experienced. Inspiration requires empty space. You need to leave room for serendipity to happen. Now, that final element is pacing. Standard tours try to get you through several places in little time. Passion-led travel requires anchoring in one region and slowing that cadence down. And when you slow down, you stop acting like a participant and start feeling like a hero in your own story. You get to know the street corners, you may visit the same bakery twice. You give that place room to breathe. And that is the anatomy of my literary field trips, and really the blueprint for traveling around anything that makes your heart beat a little faster. So I want to know, if you could build a trip around your passion, be it fiber arts, ceramics, ancient archaeology, or new cuisine, where would you go and what would you see? So drop your dream passion trip into the comments below. And next week, I'll be putting this exact blueprint to work on screen as I show you how I am designing the itinerary for my Prague and Vienna literary field trip. Now, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you right here next time. Bye. Neat.